iRacing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rid of the outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson! Anderson's up top!
Oh my god! Oh! Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Six very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, there we go! Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 2 of the Winter NASCAR iRacing series right here on SimSpeed Network. My name is JD Smith. With me tonight to call all the action is Kane Kraft. Kane, welcome to one of our favorite places to visit, Talladega, right here in Alabama. Talladega, Alabama. At that, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to a good race here at Talladega. It's a unique style of racing, and these cars will be extra fast here. So it's going to be a little extra fun this week.
Extra, read all about it. Yeah, we're going to plate racing without some plates. So that's it. 1987 cars, as you guys know, for this winter version of the NASCAR iRacing series. And this is going to be fun tonight. We get a treat. We're so used to seeing the restrictor plates when we come to these super speedways, but not tonight. We should see some really high speeds from these guys. Let's take a look from above as we come down into the middle of nowhere, Alabama, aka Talladega. Literally, Brian France, back in the day, Mr. France bought this and decided he wanted to put the world's fastest speedway here. So he actually went a little bit bigger than Daytona, made it wider, and my goodness, is this place an amazing race sanctuary. It is so fun in person. Kane, you and me have been there several times. It opened back in 1968, 2.66 miles, so it's a little bit bigger than Daytona. Look at the banking, 33 degrees in the turns. That's the highest in all of NASCAR. The tri-oval is 16 and a half inches, and the back straight is, of course, just 3 degrees. Look at this, though. Pit lane speed tonight, 60 miles per hour. That sounds pretty high, but when you're coming down from the speeds that these gentlemen are going to be coming down from, we're going to be having to watch for locked up tires, all kinds of things as these guys try to wash off all that speed to get down to 60 miles per hour. It's going to look like they're going in a crawl down pit road.
Man, that's a good point. Getting these things slowed down with 1987 technology and getting it slowed down for a pit road entry at these speeds, it could be chaos for pit road entry. So that is definitely a place we're going to want to watch whenever the time comes.
While we're looking from above, I do want to point something out. Look at that legendary Talladega Boulevard. It is legendary. Anybody that's ever been to Talladega knows that the infield at Talladega is legendary for lots of reasons. They have tons of things that go on, but it's just neat to see it from above. It's just an epic place, Talladega. Let's look at tonight's starting grid as we're already there. We have our pole sitter, the number 4 machine, Barrett Bonner, as he comes back for week 2. Joey Brown to the outside. Row 2 will be Cody Turlin with Blake McCandless to the outside. As we move back to that row 3, we got Chad Genningsman and James Houghton. As we move back to row 4, it's going to be Tom Abramitis with Jay Jensen to the outside. On the inside of row 5, we have Octavio Rondaletto, Barrett Folamus on the outside. Row 6 is going to be Matthew Brinson and Heath Snyder. As we move back in the field in row 7, Jake Sylvia and Noah Bitts. And we have Riley Marabello in row 8 with John Olette on the outside. In row 9, it'll be Alex Murray and Justin Levine. In the 10th row, we have Mike Bruno with Joshua Gathright. Row 11 consists of Jesse Atchison and David Brown with Tyler Justice and Logan Helton in row 12. In the 13th row, it'll be Sean Powell with Jonathan Osselum and Justin Rowden, Kyler Wynn, and back there in row 15, it is going to be Nathaniel Reinke. That is our field for tonight. Round 2 of the Winter NiSCAR iRacing Series, brought to you by, or not brought to you by, but right here on Sim Speed. Looking at some of the things for tonight's race, we got 94 laps for you tonight. That's 250 miles, exactly half of the normal 500 miles you would run here. 33 to 36 laps for that pit window. That is what we're going to need for that fuel run. I don't think tires will be an issue, but you never know with a new car. So we'll keep that in mind as we watch tonight's event. But it is going to be 33 to 36 laps on a full tank of fuel, approximately at full throttle. You know, these guys can keep that pedal to the metal the entire way here. It's usually the guys that can get in that draft at the right time. It's like playing a game of cards. You got to hold your cards and use them at the right time. And we'll see who's able to do that here tonight. As you know, when we get on these super speedways, finding that draft, finding that pack is going to be so interesting tonight. And with these cars, we don't really know. I've never seen these cars on a super speedway. So we'll see how they react in a pack or if they run okay out in front. So I don't know if we're going to have a lot of lead changes or we'll have a lot of guys out front that stay there for a while. It'll be interesting to see, and it'll all be starting in just a few moments. Oh man, loving the number 7 Sunkissed livery there. As we always, or I better, we're in NASCAR now, so I got to go back to paint scheme. But
It is the number 7.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the number 7. That's Mike Bruno there in the Chevy Monte Carlo. Love that Sunkissed paint scheme. And this week, hopefully, we'll get our numbers correct with you guys. Apologies for last week, as we had different numbers shown because we didn't have our custom numbers pulled up, but now we have them pulled up here on our personal viewer, or that Kane and myself are seeing, as well as what you're seeing on the broadcast. So that should be fixed this week. And we're getting ready to go green here. Just the guys coming into 3 and 4 now. And Kane, it's going to be a story of if we can keep this thing going green. You know the fear of the big one here at Talladega. And just because we're in different cars doesn't change that at all. Tonight is going to be a big, big concern to stay out of that big one. Mid-pack is a scary place to be. And here it is, the NASCAR iRacing.com pace car is going to head down towards pit road, but no need to rush. As you know, the start-finish line at Talladega is down towards turn 1. And here we go. We're going to get ready to go green. The flag is getting ready to wave as we go racing from Talladega. As you guys know, it takes almost a full lap for these guys to get up to full speed. As we go down, look at this great lineup here by the wall. We got a great run down on the inside. That is the 86 machine. We got a lot of Ryco Motorsports cars here together, teammates working together. Blake McCandless, we're on board with him right now as he's back in the 4th position. And in a great spot early. Behind them, we have a top and a bottom line that is starting to form behind them. I was expecting a big pack, but this is we're getting a little bit of a breakaway, and this is perfect because this is exactly what you would expect with these cars. I did go back and watch the 1987 Talladega or Talladega 500, and this is exactly what we saw in the real world race. We're going to have a run for the lead right now. Down on the inside, McCandless going to look for an opportunity. He goes down to the bottom, but a block in front, and a great job there by the number 4 car to hold him off.
Yeah, McCandless picking up a couple spots there early, already up into 2nd spot.
Yeah, job well done there as he's able to hold that spot down. McCandless going to go up and try that high line. I'm going to be interested to see how that high line runs, especially with right now he has nobody up there to draft with, and he's able to hold it pretty well considering he is up there by himself, Kane. I'm surprised he hasn't had more fall off than he is. You see him starting to go back now, but really that is some good news. If he is able to hold it high like that long, that means somebody will get up there and maybe want to run with him. And I think there's going to be some success up high. That's very promising because he is still up there with absolutely no draft. But I want you to focus on something, guys. Right now, as these guys come through the tri-oval, running 214 miles per hour. Absolutely hauling it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is so fun, just watching these guys go absolutely blistering pace, and everybody racing down or trying to catch that number 4 car up in the front, Blake McCandless. I'm sorry, that is not Blake McCandless. McCandless trying to catch the number 4 car.
Yeah, McCandless on the outside.
Yeah, he is, and when he got really high up there, that did hurt him as he's fallen back to about 5th or 6th position and still falling, losing that momentum.
He does have a little bit of help now. Somebody coming up on the bumper to help give him a little bit of push. That might keep him from falling back much further. He may still be in this thing. Again, it's Talladega. Get a little help, that can push you right back up to the front.
Yeah, that was
there out
Tom
of the 66
Abramitis.
machine.
That was Tom Abramitis that was giving him that help there on the high side. And look at all the Ryco Motorsports guys up front. This is just a very impressive display from all four of these guys. And that starts up at the front with Joey Brown and Barrett Bonner also in that mix. James Houghton. So a lot of Ryco Motorsports cars up there in the front. Behind them, if you look, we have the 90 car and the Red Baron Ford Thunderbird of Jay Jensen. He's up here in this pack as well, right there with Blake McCandless. He's going to file in below and follow Jay Jensen there. And so far, these guys running really good. Like you said, you don't want to get too hairy too early. This is a long race, and you do not want to get caught up in something nasty early.
Yeah, wrecks here. You're not able to recover from too many wrecks here at Talladega. They're pretty bad at these speeds.
And at these, like you were saying, at these speeds, Kane, you get in a wreck, you're pretty much gonna bet your day is about done. I mean, these guys are blistering pace. Just taking a look right now, guys are really starting to get single filed out, which is, I think, a good thing for these guys right now. Like you said, you don't want to get too racy too early. Got a long way to go, and that's why we see a good single file line here. We're going to have a move down on the inside right now, inside of, I think that's Justin Levine. And then we got a car going up on to the high side. That is, we got our first caution of the race out. Let's find out what happened here with the yellow flag. As the iRacing.com pace car comes out, let's take a look and see as soon as we can get a replay here.
It looks like it's the 15 car. Couldn't really see what happened in the replay. Here we go. Now it's cleared up. Now I can take a look here. Noah Blitz on the outside loses the rear end and comes down to the very bottom. Catches, what was it, the 87 machine?
Yes, 87 caught up in it. Also, the 18 caught up in it as well. And that is a tough break as all those guys involved in that incident. And that is what we're talking about, just how quickly things can get out of hand here at Talladega. And you saw it right there, prime example.
Yeah, I've seen a couple cars getting loose like that around here already. The two that I seen was able to catch it and not completely lose the rear end like that. But these cars a little loose around here, around Talladega. So we could see this happen more times throughout the night.
I think you're right, Kane, and I'm going to have to hand it to you for just a moment. If you can hold it down for just a second, Kane, I'll be right with you.
All right, everybody down on pit road now to get some service from the pit crews. A couple drivers electing to stay out there. All of the lead cars staying out on track, and from about 10th on down, hitting the pit boxes. Wow, so that pit stop really shook things up there in the field. Looks like Logan Helton made some significant ground through the pit stops. He's going to come out as one of the first cars. Definitely the fastest pit stop by far, 6.15 seconds in the box. It most likely just took 2 tires, but definitely some pretty good gains there from Logan Helton through the pit stop. Tom Abramitis. Behind him, Riley Marabella and Kyler Wynn. Also, last week's winner, David Brown, down there in the 15th spot. But our race leader, rather, continues to be Cody Turland. Just behind him, Joey Brown. We saw Joey Brown and Barrett Bonner last week here in the top split. James Houghton, I guess is the way we would say that. He was here as well last week. So 4 of the top 5 raced here last week with us and running in the top 5. So a little bit of experience they got last week. Looks like it's helping out a little bit this week as well, as 4 of the top 5 drivers raced here with us last week. Lots of new drivers, though, this week. We're seeing the number of drivers that have joined this series over the last week is just, it's amazing. A lot more drivers, probably hundreds more drivers this week than last week. So that's awesome to see.
It is good to see, Kane, and that is something we should see as this series continues to grow. It is a brand new series, as you guys know, the Winter NASCAR iRacing series, and we're happy to bring that to you right here on SimSpeed Network. And thanks for being patient and hanging in there. I had to fix something, and we now got it fixed. Let's take a look at our iRacing.com, or behind our iRacing.com pace car, rather. It is Cody Turland in the 09 Ryco Motorsports Ford Thunderbird. Behind him, Joey Brown in the number 14 Ryco Motorsports machine. Then the 4 of Barrett Bonner, followed by James Houghton. And then we have the 90 Red Baron Ford Thunderbird, and that is Jay Jensen. That is the top 5 there. Behind them, we have the 9 car of Octavio Rondaletto. And then behind him, it's Matthew Brinson, just to get a little idea there, sample size of how these guys are going to look when we get ready to restart here in a few laps time. Because the lights are off on the pace car, which means we're about to go back green flag racing from Talladega. And it's going to be Turland. It's going to get us back going. So everybody will be following him as we watch this field get ready to go back green. Remember, single file restarts in the 87 series. We have 87 rules. And that is exactly what you see with the field right now. No dual file restarts. This is single file, just like it was back when. As we get ready for this pace car to duck down into pit road, we get ready to go back green flag racing here at Dega. And now the long run down through the tri-oval as we head down towards that start-finish line. And Turland gets that car revved up. We're back racing. Almost looks as if they paired up there as the field did get a little bit more spread out than I expected. But look at the 4 leaders, the Ryco Motorsports guys. They're almost choreographed. You think they may have practiced this, Kane?
They may just have. But you're probably onto something. They're all sticking together, and they look like they've got a plan.
They do. They look really good. And they are following each other beautifully. Barrett Bonner is riding in the draft beautifully behind Joey Brown. And Joey Brown's going to lead this lap in the 09 Ryco Motorsports Thunderbird. And this is just how it's done. Just a soft little bump draft. You won't see him bump drafting through the turns. Obviously, that can upset the car and cause massive problems. But I am impressed with Jay Jensen and Octavio Rondaletto. The 90 and 9 car hanging in there just fine. They're hanging with these Ryco boys and really doing a good job. I think we're going to see Jay Jensen maybe even try to step down here in just a moment if he wants to get a little racy. Now, you got to be careful doing that. You have 4 teammates in front a lot of racing left to do. So I think he may feel comfortable just sitting right there behind the 41 machine of James Houghton. And look at this. We got another car coming to the party as well. That's going to be the number 5 machine of Matthew Brinson. And he's got his Chevy coming up, and he's looking pretty good too. He looks like he's going to get right on that draft of Octavio Rondoletto. And then there's a gap. We have Justin Levine. He's in the 19 car, and he's kind of stuck out there in that front line Ford. And he's looking like he's out of the draft. I know he would love to catch these guys, and he may get caught by Jesse Atchison, Kyler Wynn, and the rest of these fellas have a nice single file draft going on with this second pack of cars that is led by Kyler Wynn. Now we have the caution out for the second time today, and let's find out where this caution is coming from. And I'm looking, Kane, and it looks like we're hearing from race control. It's Mike Bruno, and we'll find out exactly what just happened to Bruno as we get ready to bring you guys a replay here. And here comes the iRacing replay. And we're looking down for Mike Bruno. You see the car get loose. That's the Sunkiss number 7, and both cars going to have incidents there. And one up into the wall. You see a tire going across the bottom part of your screen, as that is some massive damage when you lose a tire. That automatically is going to be a tow back to pit road when you're missing a tire. And let's see, we're getting another angle here from race director Jay Kennedy there. As you see the 16 Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevy Monte Carlo. And that's all right, we're going to take one more look. We're now looking at the number 78 car. Oh, big contact with the outside wall. And you see it there. That was a heavy, heavy contact. He looks like he's lost his front tire. You see the sparks shooting out there from the front right side of the car, which is the front passenger side if it was a standard stock car.
Man, that is so cool.
Yeah, that is a really good job there, iRacing, as you have improved the sim tenfold from the last time we broadcasted. Absolutely wonderful. The second time the caution has waved today, and Turland still leads this thing in the 09 Ford Thunderbird. And the Ryco Motorsports guys have led the way through 14. As we get settled into cautions, we'll see if anybody decides to head down pit road. I don't know if we'll have many takers other than the injured. And there they are. You see some guys coming off pit road right now. It was a close race off pit road. Look at this. I'll do a rundown of how
Those
these
top
guys...
4 cars didn't pit last time around, so maybe they'll feel more comfortable pitting this time around.
I think you're right. We got more cars coming down pit road right now. Or actually, no, we don't. It was Jesse Atchison, Kyler Wynn in there as well. And then we also had a few other guys like Tom Abramitis, Blake McCandless. That group was coming down. And that was, like you said, Kane, the takers that decided to come down pit road. And as we get a look at the field right now, everybody kind of getting settled back in. We got a long way to go in this one, so maybe the field can get settled down, and we can get some good racing in here. And I am surprised at, well, I am and I'm not. I'm surprised at how far the field gets spread out just from the drop of the green flag. It really shows you what it was like, with the single file restarts. It does spread the field out quite a bit. We're used to seeing, when we look at modern racing at Talladega or Daytona, we're used to seeing 2 and 3 wide packs of cars. And a lot of that can be because of the double file restarts. Also, the restrictor plates do keep them tight too.
Yeah, true. I think you're probably right on that single file restart really has a huge impact on these starts, and it really shows once these guys have to try to get up to speed in that first lap. It takes at least an entire lap to get up to speed. And yeah, I think that single file restart really creates a gap for these guys.
That it does, and just looking at our top 10 as they ride through the start-finish line, Cody Terlind still leads the way in the 09 Ryco Motorsports machine, followed by Joey Brown, Barrett Bonner, and James Houghton in the 41 Ryco Motorsports machine. All four are Ryco cars. Behind them, it is the 9-0 of Jay Jensen in the Red Baron machine. Behind him, it's the 9 car of Octavio Rondoletto. Then it is the 5 car of Matthew Brinson in 7th. 8th, it belongs to Justin Levine. Now, he was happy to see this yellow because that'll bring him up into that front pack. Behind him, it is the 19 car of Heath Snyder, followed by Riley Marabello, and that is your top 10. So that's what we're looking at as we get ready to go back a green flag racing here in just a moment's time.
If you're watching us live on YouTube, let us know who you're rooting for here tonight. We always like the interactive chat on YouTube while we're broadcasting a race, so we'll keep an eye on the chat to see your responses. And don't forget to leave us a thumbs up if you like watching these guys race around this big old Talladega track. Leave us a thumbs up. Between the thumbs up and some comments, that helps draw more viewers to the race and get some more eyeballs on these drivers.
And if you are paying attention and see the number 3 Ally machine up there in front of the field, that is a lap traffic car. And if he, let's see, I don't know if he'll get that wave around or if he will actually start down on the inside line. I think he'll get a wave around this time by, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't quite remember how they did it back then.
I can't remember now that I don't want to say wrong, but he will start on the inside line as the iRacing.com pace car ducks down to pit road. And look at the jump there from Joey Brown and Cody Terlind, and they both get started, and that is a huge jump there for the 09 Ryco Motorsports Thunderbird. And Joey Brown in tow, followed by Barrett Bonner and James Houghton. We got a great run up on the high side. That's the number 9 car there, Octavio Rondoletto, taking an opportunity, and I don't know if that's going to go. I thought the 90 was going to go with him, but it is going to be a car that's going to join him. That's the number 5 car of Matthew Brinson. He's going to come up, and I figured this high side would work, and it looks very fast there for Brinson. He's going to get up there and give some great speed to the 9 car, and I don't know. Look at this high line. It looks really good.
Yeah, that top line is looking really,
Whoa.
fast. If those guys could just stay together.
What do we got going on? Joey Brown and all the Ryco guys are headed down pit road under green. What is this?
Green. Oh, they must.
This is a penalty for jumping that start. I thought he jumped a little early, and that is exactly what we're seeing. A huge penalty handed down from above. And you're going to see now Joey Brown, Cody Terlind as Terlind gets away, and also Barrett Bonner all down pit road there to serve that penalty. That'll take them out of the big draft, and that is tough. Also, Chad Gunningsman is back out on the track. He had a long pit after an early race incident, and he is back out on track. And that is huge. That is really big.
So that lap car that was starting down low, those 4 or 5 drivers passed that car, and iRacing handed down a penalty because they passed that car before the start-finish line. And that's, I believe, is why you've seen those cars heading down pit lane for that, to serve that penalty.
And now,
lucky enough, there was enough of those guys together that they could get back together and still have a draft.
They're going to be hoping for a caution real soon, though. Right now, Octavio Rondoletto leads the way with Matthew Brinson in tow, and then down on the inside, Justin Levine, followed by Heath Snyder in the 19. Good run up here for the lead right now. This is fun. Here comes also in this little pack, we got another pack right behind him. Look at this on the high side. Brinson going for the lead. Will anybody follow him? So far, no, but look at this, Kane. The 24 car coming with a really good run up there on the high line. In that
Yeah.
24 car, that is Barrett Palhemus, and he had a really good run. Now the bottom line looks healthy, and it looks like we got some teammates there join. I don't know that for a fact, but it looks like they are. The 19 and Justin Levine, both showing 19, but they both have the same frontline sponsor there and logo. The high line must have got the good word, because now we got 4 cars sitting up on the high line, the 24 and the 25 machine. That's Riley Marabello.
Little bump draft gone bad almost for the number 9 machine. He was able to keep it under control, but only just barely. That 5 car gave him just a little tap there and sent him a little wonky.
And one thing I've noticed, Kane, is if you look at the front end of this Chevy Monte Carlo, it's very square. But if you look at the front of the Ford Thunderbird, it is not. It comes to a point at the front, and although both back ends of both the Chevy and the Ford are flat, that Ford front end is got a point to it. And I was wondering how that would do if we saw bump drafting, because these cars are different shaped cars, and that point could spin a car around. I mean, I think it's safe down the back stretch as long as you get very centered up to bump draft. But if you try to do it going into a turn or even coming out of a turn too early, we're going to see big problems.
Oh,
the
the
5 car
loose.
gets loose. Yeah, and that is a big problem there for Brinson. He gets loose in that 5 car. Matthew Brinson able to hang on there and does a good job of keeping that out of big trouble. Joshua Gathright down on the inside line. He's coming up past the 5 car. That is him in the 27. And you're going to see that 9 car come back down on the inside line. He's running. That's Octavio Rondoletto. Let's see if Brinson decides to join down on the inside. He will, as he gets sandwiched in between the 9 and 27.
Seeing some extra big skill there from both that 9 machine and the 5 machine tonight, as both of those guys got sent crazy, and both of them able to recover before disaster. So I'm seeing some pretty good driving here tonight.
Ooh, 3 wide here for the lead, guys. We got a good race down here for the lead. The 25 car getting a great push from Matthew Brinson, and that is Riley Marabello who's going to lead this lap. Great job there from the Elite Monte Carlo. And right behind him, Matthew Brinson, followed by Octavio Rondoletto and the 24 of Barrett Palhemus. Great little run on the inside line. Also coming up down on that inside, I've been watching him, the 28 car of Jesse Atchison, as he has a really good run. And I'm loving that 28 paint scheme, reminiscent of the old Haviland paint scheme. And it's not that, it's a different sponsor, but it has that same style, looking very good. And we do still have some takers, as both of those 19 cars up on the high side are pushing the high line.
As you guys are watching a little closer up front, I'm going back to look at the guys that had their penalty, and it's looking like who was the leader back then, Cody Turlin, and Barrett Bonner and James Houghton have all come together. They're drafting well, making their way, making some time back up as they try to catch back up to the field. Back behind them, Joey Brown leads a little pack of him and Jay Jensen and the 7 Skittle Sunkiss machine. Those guys were trying to charge back up as well. Got a little pack going. The 7 machine has now been lost. It is just the 14 machine and that Red Baron machine. Just the 2 of those guys trying to make their way back up to the field. That's going to be tough.
And back there in 11th place, Joshua Gathright, and followed by Nathaniel Reinke, Kyler Wynn, and Tom Abramitis, and Logan Helton. That group has caught this front pack. That is really good for some good racing. Look at the 19 going to peek down inside of the number 9 there, trying to look at possibly making this a 3-line field. instead thinks better of it, and he tucks in to continue the draft with the 9. He'll give him a bump draft through the tri-oval, which can be a little dangerous, can be a little hairy, but there is no problem as Octavio Rondoletto keeps it nice and steady. Look at this for the lead right now. It is the number 5 car. That is Matthew Brinson, who has had a very fast number 5 Ford Thunderbird. That car has shown tremendous pace tonight, and he is out in front in that clean air, getting pushed by Riley Marabello in the 25. So you're seeing an example right now of a Chevy and a Ford pushing bump draft. We got a car loose and into the wall. That's the 19 car. Gets turned up into the wall. Big trouble here at Talladega. Oh, that was close. We almost had another wreck there as we almost had a huge impact. And we'll see it on the replay. I just talked about bump drafting. It can be dangerous. And it looks like, no, there was no bump draft there. Yes, there was. The 19 bump drafted into 9, and the car got turned down to the inside. And that is exactly what I was afraid of earlier when looking at that pointed nose. And that's exactly what we saw right there on the 19. It got pointed in. It turned the car down inside, and at 215 miles an hour, that is nasty. I mean, that is huge. And we almost had a huge wreck that was very, very luckily avoided, as we had a car that drove through that very nicely. And let's see, the 28 made it through good. I'm trying to see who else did as well. Well, the 19 almost got into the other 19. But, at these custom numbers... Yeah, he almost did.
Justin Levine. He did. He got into him, spun him out too. He ended up in the infield grass. So both 19s off the racetrack at this point.
I think I may have to suggest maybe we don't do custom numbers next week, just because of the multiple numbers on track can get confusing. But we'll see. We'll see how that rolls.
Everybody in pit lane now. It looks like just about everybody. Those guys that got that penalty, even most of those guys coming down.
Yeah, Heath Snyder in that 19 front line Ford Thunderbird. That car has massive damage. He's in pit road getting that car repaired at the moment. Justin Levine, the other 19 front line Ford, he's getting his car repaired.
Well, for those guys that got that penalty early on, this caution flag is exactly what they needed to get them caught back up to the field. This race is just getting started, and it's pretty darn interesting. It's been a good race.
Yeah, that's what the doctor ordered. If you're a Ryco Motorsports car that was involved in the penalties earlier, this allows you to catch the field, as we have another group of guys heading down, or that were heading down pit road earlier. But this catches the field, and now they can work through the draft, which makes all the difference in the world. And we've already seen the 09 Ryco Motorsports car of Cody Terlinde lead this race. He's obviously got a very fast race car, and with him looks like he's going to be with James Houghton right there with him. And we'll see what these guys can do.
Last week's winner, David Brown, finds himself being scored in the second place. Anyway, according to my live timing, that's where it's showing him.
I'm showing this. I'm showing the same for him as well right now, but I think that's going to change here in just a moment. And the lights are still on the iRacing.com pace car. We'll see if those come off this time by, and we'll see if we can go back green flag racing this next lap by. So as race control sends down their verdict, we'll see if those lights cut off there on that iRacing.com pace car.
All right, so now David Brown is leading them down to the start.
And we are one to go, so we will be going green this time by. And you see how we do have those cars down on the inside line? That is lap traffic. So if we look up on the bottom line, you see the 13 Coors Ford Thunderbird of Sean Powell and Tyler Justice in the number 3 Ally car. They are lap traffic. David Brown is going to lead this thing going in the Nexus 83 machine. He's going to lead us to green, following him is the 20 car of Tom Abramitis in the iRacing.com Chevy Monte Carlo, followed behind him by Kyler Wynn in the number 18 Factory Setups Monte Carlo. So we're getting ready to go back green racing as we head down the backstretch here at Talladega and Super Speedway racing. It is about to get back underway. And I want to thank everybody for joining us here on SimSpeed Network for week 2 action of the Winter NASCAR iRacing Series. It has been heavy, heavy, heavy cars with lots and lots of speed here. Over 215 miles per hour, something we're not used to seeing here at Talladega anymore. But we got it in the iRacing Sim. And these guys are itching to get back green racing as we're coming through 3 and 4. And this pace car is getting ready to head down pit road, Kane, as we get ready to go back green flag racing. And let's see if we can get us a good run going.
Well, I hope the guys were paying attention last time around to not get that make that same kind of mistake and get that same penalty.
I agree. And the pace car is down on the inside line. So now it'll be to the 83 Nexus Ford to get the field going. It is his responsibility.
It's the 13 car to lead this off is what we found out last time. The 13 car is the race starter. You cannot pass that guy without getting a penalty.
No, the 83, it's the bottom line in the 87 rules is the lap traffic. So the 83 took the flag, see?
All right, last time it looked like they got a penalty for passing that inside line.
No, well, what the penalty was for was because he jumped before the green. He jumped the field completely. Like the green flag had not waved, and they had already taken off. So you have to wait for the flagman. Look at the bump draft right there from the number 20 machine there. Kyler Wynn up on the high line. He's got a great push there from the 63 car. That's Logan Helton, and that pushed the 18 of Kyler Wynn to the lead. And this guy is flying. Big bump draft there from the 63 car of Logan Helton. And they should come down to lead this lap together. That is Kyler Wynn there in the number 18 Factory Setups Chevy Monte Carlo. And that is exactly what we see here as we start lap 32. Up there on the high side as we go back to the pack behind them. Kane, we got a great 4-car battle right here with Blake McCandless up on the high side with Jay Jensen doing the pushing. Then we look down on the bottom line. Love the livery there, the number 21 machine Miller Highlight.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful, beautiful paint scheme. And then, of course, Tom Abramitis. And he gets left up high.
Whoa!
We got trouble. The 90 car is going to get into contact. Huge cars. The 21 goes around. And the caution will come out for the 4th time today. Huge wreck. Boy, that one got crazy in a hurry. Several cars involved in that one, and looks like Jonathan Oshalem involved. Also involved in this wreck. Barrett Bonner might have got caught up in that as well. Let's find out exactly who all got in that from the get-go. I know the 90 car looked like might have been the right in front of Tom Abramitis. We had, and that was Jay Jensen, and the car came down and then shot up, and then it was just literally.
It looked like it lost the rear end and come down into the guys below, and just after that it was a pinball game.
And that's Justin Rowden in the number 21 Miller High Life Ford. And, I thought he escaped it, but boy, he just barely nicked the 90 back quarter panel, or better yet, the 90 just barely nicked that back quarter panel. But like we said, when you're traveling over speeds of 187 miles per hour, it doesn't take much to send the car up into the wall.
And I'm surprised how much damage these old cars can take and still keep
they're
rolling.
They're beasts, man. They're beasts. They were heavy cars, and I mean they were just beasts.
So
they were
like,
short track bangers, man. They could bang all day on the short track.
Yeah, on the short track, they were fun to watch. But it looks like you were right on that penalty. It's a flag wave. You got to wait for that flag to wave, because we seen that David Brown did pass that lower line and didn't get a penalty. So that's what I was thinking the penalty was for. You were absolutely right that it was. You got, apparently in this series, you got to wait for that flag man to tell you to go. You don't get a pick when to go.
That's it. And I got to take just a minute. If we could get a camera on the 28 car of Jesse Atchison. I just want to do a paint scheme. He's in his pit stall right now, but that is a Thundercats paint scheme. I talked about it earlier. It reminds me of the old Haviline paint scheme, and that is amazing. The Thundercats logo on the
Jay
hood.
Atchison.
Yeah, that's Jesse Atchison.
Jesse Atchison. That's right. Sorry.
And it is just a beautiful, beautiful paint. I love that. Thundercats, you win. I mean, that is a winner in my book.
Yeah, perfect for the times, ain't it?
It is. And I'm a sucker for a good paint scheme.
Yeah, the Thundercats was my favorite cartoon back in the 80s.
Oh, it was a good one, wasn't it? That's it. With this series, man, we ought to have like some 80s throwback,
commercials or something.
Yeah, man. I feel like, go back into the era, man. We ought to add some grain to the broadcast, make it look the old.
Instead of broadcasting in high def, we could broadcast it in 400p.
Yeah, get the old VCR tracking lines on there. I think we'll use the technology where we can.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that?
Jay turned it to 480p, and
that's beautiful.
What it looked like.
Beautiful. There it is. No, that is it right there on your screen. Welcome to 1987. Look at the VCR tracking and everything. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is 1987 iRacing if I've ever seen it. Makes me just want to sit there. If I could pull my best Ned Jarrett impression, boy, I'd be pulling it out now. Like an old T&M broadcast. That is absolutely phenomenal. I want to thank Jay Kennedy, our race director. A phenomenal job as always, keeping us on top of the action and keeping us up to date with everything going on around the track here at Talladega. And that is an amazing way to make the broadcast look authentic in 1987 fashion.
Our directors had to be quite busy here tonight because there's been a lot of action.
There has been a lot of action, and the lights are out on the iRacing.com pace car as we get ready to go back racing this time by. As we see the number 3 Ally car down on the inside, that is lap traffic, and it'll be the 18 car that's going to be getting us going here in just a moment's time as these guys come down. We still got the backstretch to go down, but this is how our front guys are going to be starting. Kyler Wynn there in the number 18 factory setups Chevy Monte Carlo. He'll be leading the field to green. And behind him, it'll be Logan Hilton in the 63 car pushing, followed by Blake McCandless and David Brown. And then behind them, it'll be the number 9 car of Octavio Rondoletto. And then it's the number 41 of James Houghton. It's the leading Ryco Motorsports car. And behind him, it'll be Noah Bitts in the number 15 Frontline Ford. And then it is a very bright Nathaniel Reinke. And behind him, Alex Murray, followed by Joshua Gathright. That is the top 10 restarting in just a moment's time. We have 2 turns left to go in the iRacing pace car. We'll head down pit road, and we'll get ready to restart things from Talladega. Absolutely phenomenal job And here we go. Let's see. The base car is getting ready to make that heavy left-hand turn. There he is. So now it is all up to Kyle to get us back green flag racing. And as soon as the flagman waves, we'll be going. So with 35 of 94, let's head back green flag racing from Talladega. I tell you what, authentic or not, then I tell you what, there was not camera angles flying that beautiful back in 87. That was an amazing restart camera. Look at this run from the front pack here. Very good speed, and Logan Helton has done a phenomenal job of pushing Wynn up front. These two have been a really good pair. McCandless up there as well. So we got a 3-car front pack. And these front three, if they can just stay calm up there, I think they can stay up there by themselves for a little bit. And we'll see what develops from this little front 3-car trio. Well, it's a foursome.
It's getting dangerous.
Yeah, because here comes David Brown in the number 83 Nexus Ford Thunderbird. And then we got the 9-car of Octavio Rondoletto and James Houghton coming up in the rear.
Yeah, those guys were doing a little bit of pushing there for a second, and it didn't take them long to change their mind on that and get a little gap. Now they're getting a little bit closer again.
Logan Helton did a really good job. He was really doing some aggressive bump drafting down the backstretch, which is okay on the straightaway. But look at this. Oh, McCandless getting a little bit loose there. Blake McCandless there in the number 66 Chevy Monte Carlo. He is going to come right up to Logan Helton here. And this front pack getting down. Look at that on the inside, the number 41 car. He's going to try to make things happen as he tucks in down on that inside line. And he's going to try to follow in the draft of Kyler Wynn. That is James Houghton. And Houghton going to go for the lead. He's going to hook down to the inside. He's got a great run going. And with that kind of momentum, he is going to get that pretty easily. And look who goes with him. Here comes Logan Helton down on the inside. So we got the inside and the high side pushing hard. And this is racing at Talladega. This is what I love.
Those Ryko boys have really got something figured out. He came from several positions back to end up in that second spot. It looks really, really fast. All those guys do.
Kyler Wynn is doing a good job. He was doing a good job of going back and forth from trying to stay in that lead position. Unfortunately, the field was going a little bit faster, and David Brown was able to find that high sign with Blake McCandless pushing in the 66 car. And look at him go. That high line, just when you think the bottom is the safe place to be, that high line starts to make some passes. So really balanced track right now as we're able to see the high and the low side work. Now look at this, as we have seen this 83 car up in the front. Be careful. That's always scary. If you think they're clear, but it's like you couldn't fit a piece of paper in between them. You got to be careful here at Talladega or any of these super speedways. If you think you're clear and you come down on the hood, that's how we've seen so many wrecks in the past happen here. But it is still great for this lead in David Brown, who did great last week. He's leading here at Talladega in the Nexus Ford Thunderbird. And look at down on the inside, it's Houghton in the 41 Ryko Motorsports machine. Had a really good run. He needs some push and help, and he'll get it from Logan Helton.
Logan Helton in that 63 machine started way back in the 22nd position. So a really good run for him to get up here and be challenging for these lead positions.
Logan Helton has done the pushing for a while, but he says it's time to lead, and that's exactly what he'll do, Kane. He got out there, and now he has got this lead, and now he'll get a push from the 83 of David Brown. Boy, when the 9 come down as well, and Octavio Rondoletto joined in on the fun, that left James Houghton on the high side alone. And I thought he was going to get some help now from Kyler Wynn, but he really got stuck up there all by himself. So you see now the 41 Ryko Motorsports car stuck up there by himself. And finally, he'll be able to get a little bit of draft and help here in just a moment. It looks like maybe not. If he didn't get some draft and help soon, he will fall back. Looks like he'll be able to tuck in with Logan Helton, as now it is going to be David Brown that's going to lead this race. And look at this, Octavio Rondoletto has made a really impressive run. He was sitting about 5 or 6 just literally about 20 seconds ago, and he's already up here to second. Here comes a great run from the 66 car of Blake McCandless.
Yeah, that 9 of Octavio Rondoletto and the 66 of Blake McCandless have both been super fast all day long. And even when they wind up mid-pack, they find themselves right back up here battling at the front.
McCandless went up to the high side, and boy, it was very close to making contact with the 9 car. I'm sure he knew the space he needed to make that, but it just is so close when you're looking at speeds of over 206 miles per hour. One thing, Kane, that I wanted to take a look at as I'm watching some of these guys and trying to pinpoint how long it takes for them in a lap's time, how much ground can they make up. And I know these guys have to be calculating this as well. As you see a little bit of lap traffic there, that is the 19 car down on the inside. That is lap traffic. And that is Justin Levine, who was in an incident earlier in his number 19 Frontline Thunderbird. But these guys got to calculate where that draft can take them in one lap's time, because if they have to calculate this final lap, they got to get themselves in the right position to position themselves for the win here.
And these cars, they just do not handle like the modern day cars. They're pretty squirrely. So even when they look like they're doing good here up front, you see them get a little squirrely every once in a while. It's like disaster could strike at any minute for any of these drivers.
McCandless with a good push up here on David L. Brown in the Mopar Nexus Ford Thunderbird. That sounds funny to say, but he is got this car just where he wants it. He's got really good pace once he gets in front. He's got some good pushing, but look at how well he's holding that lead. Even when he gets a car that's off, you'll see McCandless here get a good run on him. And let's see if he tries to go. No, he'll give him a good bump. Here comes the 41 car down on the inside. That is James Houghton. And I thought he was going to get a real good run. He got a decent one, and he'll tuck him behind Logan Helton here. We've seen good things from Helton, and he has really good speed. He is going to come up behind David Brown, and is it going to be enough? He's going to try for the lead as the guys race down into turn 1. And you'll see David L. Brown do a great job of blocking that pass for the lead, and he will remain the leader. Great footage here as you get to see the front end of that Chevy Monte Carlo coming right up to the bumper cam, as this is tremendous footage there of that 63 machine and getting all up in the grill there. Hit some good pushing down the backstretch here at Talladega. And as the guys start down this tri-oval here, is it going to be David L. Brown? He will. It looks like as he comes through, should lead another lap. And that's exactly what he'll do. And we see the field. Once again, James Houghton gets kind of trapped up there by himself. Looked like he was going to have Octavio Rondoletto join him. But while everybody's up here, we got the rest of the field kind of coming into play here. We got Barrett Bonner, followed by Matthew Brinson. And if you remember, Brinson had that 5 car really fast earlier in this race. He's back up here, and be looking for him to start working his way up through the field, as well as, look at this, 3 Ryco Motorsports cars are about to link up here in just a moment. And if they do, they might make that march back up towards the front. And we're hearing from race control that we are at the halfway point, so halfway through this race. And we have got a really good green flag run going right now. This has been the best run of the race so far. And I want to thank everybody for joining us for tonight's race. Look at this down on the inside. The 9 car looked like he was going to get down inside of the 18 factory setups machine, and he will. He'll follow him. Then we're on board with Octavio Rondoletto. He started 9th, currently running in the 6th position, as that is changing fast as he is working good down on the inside line. Look how fast they come through this tri-oval. Absolutely beautiful shot of the cars coming through the tri-oval here at Talladega. Look at the 33-degree banking into turn 1. Absolutely beautiful.
Man, those guys hit 219 miles an hour.
Yes, they are just boogieing around this track. That is tremendous pace. We have this front pack that is rocking it right now. And then look at this. Behind them, you have the second pack. And they're racing as well. Yeah, speeds of almost 225 miles per hour. Just incredible pace. And you got to think, man, the tire, I mean, just the tiniest jerk of your wheel, a little oversteer, a little bit too much of a herky-jerky motion. You are done at those speeds. That is so fast. That is why we have restrictor plates today.
That Thundercats machine at Jesse Atchison coming into the second spot just as the caution flag flies.
So let's go back and find out what happened with the caution, Kane. Sorry, didn't mean to jump in there. I just saw the caution and got excited.
That's right. Looks like it's the 28 machine of John Ouellette.
Is he missing a tire is what I'm hearing.
Why'd you go and leave me, loose wheel?
All right, so I'm watching the 28 and seeing what's going on. Let's look on here. As we're watching the replay, you see him get 4 wide there. Oh, that'll do it. Contact, and that wheel gets shot up there, and then there's another one running down. As the car goes into the wall, the wheel keeps racing. And that is some pretty big damage there for the 28. And a tough break there for John Ouellette. So John Ouellette is making his way down pit road. Even without a tire, he has made it there. He's going to find his way into his pit box to get some repair to the elite Chevy Monte Carlo, and that is exactly what the 2018 will do. Oh, he overshot his pit stall, and that's understandable. You're missing a tire, so he underestimated the braking power, or overestimated and overshot his pit stall. Tough break there.
No, last week I don't think we've seen any cars with missing wheels. Is that something new maybe from this build?
We weren't going 220-something miles per hour.
Well, that's true. The speeds are different. But we did see a car lose its wheel, but we never did. Maybe he never did drive anywhere after that.
Look at the line of cars headed down pit road. We got some big pit stops here, guys. Great camera footage there as you see guys going for their stall. And we talked about this 60-mile-an-hour pit road stall. You see a car with some smoke in the back of that pack there. Not a problem under yellow. If it was green flag stops, that's where those problems come in, as you're getting 223 miles an hour down to 60. Causes trouble. Here comes a race off pit road. Who's going to get it? Looks like Logan's going to get that first spot, followed by David. So Logan Helton and then David Brown, followed by Kyle Wynn.
Cody Turland, makes his way up past his teammates and into that 4th spot.
Yeah, Barrett Bonner is going to be behind him in the 5th spot, so that will be good news for Cody Turland. And then we have Jesse Atchison in the number 28 Thundercats Ford Thunderbird. And then it's James Houghton, so another Ryco Motorsports car is going to be restarting 7th. 8th will be Tom Abramitis in the number 29 iRacing.com Monte Carlo, followed by Blake McCandless. McCandless in the 66 car has had a remarkable race. He's been up in the top 5 the entire race. He'll be restarting 9th, though, for now. We'll see how he does from 9th. Then we have Octavio Rondoletto in the 9 machine, and he is going to be starting 10th. That is what we're looking at right now. Justin Levine is behind them, but he is a lap down. So to go back to our next car, it'll actually be Matthew Brinson there in the number 5 Ford Thunderbird, as he will restart 11th, and 12th will go to Riley Marabello. So this should be a really good restart once we get back going. And the lights, we will be waiting for those lights on that pace car to go out. We'll see if they go out as it gets ready to cross the start-finish line once it makes it through the tri-oval. I think I'm going to take this opportunity to take a peek at the Sim Speed broadcast to look at the comments down there on YouTube and see if we got anybody there. I probably should have looked before I said that, because watch there not be anything there.
Yeah, it's pretty bare tonight. We do got some return viewers. Last week we had some folks here rooting for Logan Helton. He's got some people cheering him on again this week, which is good to see.
Yeah, always good. Always good to see some supporters.
If you're watching live, let us know who you're rooting for.
Yeah, Maxine Grimes.
I'm always interested in that.
Maxine says she's watching Logan in the 63 tonight, and that's a good thing because he's winning the race right now. Right now, the bearded sim racer, it says the old bearded sim racer, and I'm trying to think, the 63 car, Logan Helton, leading the way. There we go. Got that's what I was looking for, to get a good glimpse of his sponsor there on the 63 of Logan Helton. And I just saw Bearded Sim Racer on the back of it, so I went with it. But it looks like kicking the tires on the front there on the hood of the 63. Got the flames going down. And the car sure is fast right now. He's up there in that number 1 spot, and we're getting ready to get this party back rolling in just a moment as the pace car is getting ready to duck down onto the apron and head down pit road, and it will be up to Logan Helton to get us back green racing here. Remember, we've seen a pack of cars jump the gun earlier, and we'll make sure the guys here don't do a repeat as we get ready for hopefully another good run. That was a good run we just had, and we'll see if we get another good one here. We're past the halfway mark, and things are going to start getting a little bit more aggressive as we get closer to the checkers. Cars down on pit road. Let's do it. Absolutely beautiful shot of the cars coming through the tri-oval. And the flagman waves. Let's go back racing. A beautiful shot coming through turn 1. Guys really hugging the inside line. And it is Logan leading the way. 3 cars following, and the Nexus machine down there pushing our leader Logan Helton to that first place spot. That is David Brown, followed by Kyler Wynn.
Boy, those guys have really pulled away.
They are really, really hauling it right now, man. These guys are fast right now. I don't know what it is about these 3 cars, but when they linked up, came like they were using nitrous. I mean, they shot out of the cannon. Behind them, that is Cody Terland, and he's by himself in the 09 Ryco Motorsports Thunderbird. But behind them, we got a good 3-car little pack right here with Jesse Atchison, Barrett Bonner, and Justin Levine. We'll keep an eye on this crowd as they lead the rest of the pack. Typically, what we've seen when we get a small pack of 2 or 3, even 4 cars up at the front, they do tend to lead for just a little bit, but after things kind of settle down, it seems that we've seen the big pack catch up. It just takes a couple laps and the bigger pack tends to catch those few front runners, and that's typically what we've seen thus far, at least.
Yeah, and I do think that's what we're about to see again.
I've been watching. I'm really impressed with cars that really haven't led a bunch today or at all. But Matthew Brinson, that car has seemed really fast to me in that 5 car, as well as Blake McCandless. McCandless has found himself up in the front all day, but right now he's kind of stuck around 10th place, and he's kind of been stuck there for a few laps now. So we'll see if maybe he can get that 66 car back into that top 5 where he ran the beginning of today. And there you see the car I just talked about just a second ago, Matthew Brinson. He has got really good pace in that 5 car, Kane, and he looks like he may work with McCandless here to try to catch this pack.
Yeah, Octavio Rondaletto in the number 9 machine is another car to keep an eye on, as he's also been one of those that have been running up front all day long and has great pace. He's just ahead of those other 2, and now making his way to the inside of that 41 machine. James Houghton, he's going to get him another spot right there.
Yes, he did, and I really like what we just saw out of Octavio there. He really split up the teammates right there, as he was able to get James Houghton kind of singled out there, and now you have Octavio jumping into the middle of the Ryco Motorsport chain, and he's hanging right in there. Another one, Jesse Atchison in this 28 car has done a really good job. He's made himself up to 4th place right now, and he's just in the rear of Kyler Wynn. And so, like we talked about just a moment ago, it took about 2 laps for this big pack to catch those front 3 guys, because when this first went green, Kane, you said it, these 3 really shot out of there and had a nice lead. But just like that, in 2 laps, we're all back together. My goodness, 218 miles per hour through this, right through the tri-oval. I mean, 209 miles per hour through the middle of the turn. I mean, that is just just outstanding pace.
Well, it's no wonder why these guys are having a little bit of trouble controlling these things. That's fast.
Oh, and these things are about as aerodynamic as a block of wood. I mean, they're just chunky, blocky 80s cars. So that wind is just boom. I mean, it's whipping. And you got cars, they actually, because they're blocky, they block a lot of air and they make really good draft. But the problem is it's very turbulent through those turns, man. And that's why you definitely don't want to see anybody bump drafted through the turns. These cars are not made to bump draft like that. And it causes problems. Now, these guys got it going on. What they're doing right now is perfect. Just if you want to bump draft, just do it down the straightaways. But when you start coming into the turns, don't even think about it. It's just too dangerous. If you got to kind of feather the brake, don't let off the accelerator, because I guess there's no restrictor plates on these cars, so I guess you could lift if you wanted to, but if you're coming up on the rear of the car in front of you, but I would much rather kind of barely tap that brake just to stay right on the bumper without making contact.
Whoa, some green flag pit stops from the Ryco guys, and they had some troubles.
Is it what we talked about earlier, Kane?
Yeah, just so much speed coming down onto pit lane. It is hard to get that thing slowed down, and they definitely had some troubles.
And that's what I was afraid of. It's not easy. This is really hard, and trouble for 2 of the Ryco cars, possibly even the 3rd one. I'm not sure what his speed was crossing that line, but if it was 1 mile per hour over 60 miles per hour, he's going to get a penalty. And that is troublesome, and it's not just going to be those guys, because you saw how good the Ryco cars have been today, but that is a big trouble. That's 2 penalties, or at least trouble. That wasn't a penalty, but troubles for this team, and that's so unfortunate, because these guys are fast, and just hate to see trouble as these guys coming down pit road. Yeah, Joey Brown is in his stall still, and Barrett Bonner. I wonder if they were serving penalties. I'll see if I can find that out.
46 seconds in that pit stop. So Bonner's definitely had a penalty. I'm going to guess Joey Brown as well.
All right, back out front. It's David L. Brown in that 83 car leading the way, followed by Jesse Atchison in the number 28 Thundercats Ford Thunderbird. And this is lap 63 of, I forgot the number, but we're 32
94.
to go. Thank you, 94. I had too many numbers I was looking at. And look at this. I was about to say our leader dropped way down on the inside. Look at Octavio get almost below the yellow line. And he'll tuck in behind, I believe that is Kyler. It is. So Octavio going to tuck in behind the 18 machine. He's going to look inside of him. He's got Brinson pushing.
Yeah, those two guys have made it back up to the front of this field. Clear back from 10th, 11th place. So great drive from those guys.
Woo. Helton into the wall is what it looked like. Let's see if I can get another look at that. I'm going to back mine up just a hair just to see if I can. Yeah, Logan Helton, tough for him. He's been so fast today too. Yeah, got up into the wall. The 63 car, that is a very tough break at a bad time of the race. It didn't look it did too bad of damage, but that's not what you want at this stage in this race.
Yeah, it looks like he's still got the pace to catch back up to those guys, and not his race isn't over yet, I guess is the best way to put it. I think he could still catch those guys and maybe race for the lead.
Oh gosh, yeah. If you're on the lead lap, you are still way in contention for this thing. It's Talladega. If you are on the lead lap, anything is possible. You know, we got a replay coming up on your screen, guys, right now. We'll take a look here at the iRacing replay. And we are on board for this as we see that wall scrape of Logan Helton there in the number 63. And
he was
there it
lucky
was.
to get away with that one.
Yeah, that with the speed he was carrying through there, I think he was going about 216 miles per hour through there. That is rather fast. And
Leaders making their way past those Ryko drivers that we've seen have to serve those penalties for this speed in pit lane. The Ryko drivers fast tonight, but they have had some bad luck.
Yeah, the restart early in the race, it hurt, but it didn't hurt that bad as they did not have to go a lap down.
On top.
Oh, and he goes around, and contact is made as we have other cars involved. The caution will wave with 29 to go, and some big cars involved in this one. Let's go back, find out exactly who all was involved. And this car we're looking at on your screen right now, boy, he was having a hard time regaining control. We're going to go back and look at this replay right now. That is the 25 car. That's Riley Marabello. And we're going to see, I just saw somebody get loose.
Yeah, that was one of the Ryko guys, the 41 machine.
Oh, it was in front. Yeah, it looked like the 41 machine got loose maybe. Let me go back and take another look.
Yeah, James Houghton is that 41 car.
Yes. Just a tough break. Wow.
We're going to get a replay from that 41
Here we go.
Up on screen.
Yeah, if you look, they're running on the high sign. You see that nose start pointing down. And when you're at those speeds, I mean, he tried to save it. He almost did, but it's just too much speed. I mean, it's so fast. There's no room for error. Here's the difference.
You're coming down in front of the rest of the field. That's
And one thing I was going to say right before that happened was, you know, we're looking at IndyCar speeds, but we're not in high downforce modern marvels of science here. We're talking about Chevy Monte Carlos and Ford Thunderbirds from 1987 running these incredible speeds. These things are not built to like you wouldn't think to run these kinds of speeds, and it's just so incredibly fast.
Race off
These
pit road between Atchison and Brown. Looks like Atchison's going to get it just by a foot.
beautiful call, Kane, as that could be big there, as he'll get the advantage for the restart, and he'll be the car to follow now. So Atchison wins the race off pit road in the number 28 Thundercats Thunderbird, and that is beautifully done. And a beautiful paint scheme there. Look at that. Boy, love the chrome 28 on there. It just reminds me like the old Davy Allison
Yeah, I was
paint,
going to
man.
say the same thing. It's kind of reminiscent of the Davy Allison Havoline paint, but
Thundercats.
kind of a parody of it with the Thundercats.
That is just beautiful. All right, so lights are on with the pace car, and we are 27 to go. Looks like we'll at least be 25 to go when we get back green. So we could have a 25 lap march to the end. And with these guys just topping off, if we stay green, they should not have to pit anymore in this race. Now, that doesn't mean we won't see any more pits pending on yellow flags and things, but these guys should or can make it to the end from here. So keep that in mind as these guys start to position themselves on where they want to be to put themselves in the right position to win this race. And where do you want to be, Kane? I mean, in different eras of NASCAR, there's been different places you want to be. Most commonly, they've always said you want to be second on the final lap. If you're in second place, you're in the draft, and you time your move for the win. But with some of these older cars, I noticed that being second wasn't always the best. A lot of times the leader would actually just hang out there and get the win. Or sometimes you'd have a completely different guy from third, fourth, or even fifth place come out of nowhere on a huge run to win it at the last second. So you never know.
We could definitely see something like that, the way these cars rush up on those leaders. We could definitely see something like that where a car from third or fourth is able to get a big enough run.
One thing I've noticed tonight is we've seen cars that have been further back seem to get bigger runs, and I don't mean position wise. What I mean is if they kind of fell off of the pack a little bit, or not even a pack, or just the car in front of them, if they fell off just a little bit, they seem to get a really big run down the backstretch. So if I'm planning out this final run here, I want to sit myself around fourth or fifth if I can, depending on how this front pack looks. But I would like to sit about there. When I hit that final green flag, I want to keep about a car length in between me and the car in front of me. And when I get right straight on the backstretch, that's when I'm turning it on. I'm going as full blast as I can. I mean, obviously, you're going to stay with your foot on the accelerator, but that's where you want to draft all the way down that backstretch. And when you go into turn 3, get right on that bumper, because when you hit turn 4, that's when you make your move. You got to try to get there and hope you don't get blocked. And if you can't, because once you lose that momentum, it's over. So you got to make your move and almost surprise the car in front of you. That way they can't block you. It's really tough. It's not easy. I mean, if everybody could do it, you hear people say, "Oh, Talladega's a crapshoot. Anybody can do it." Well, how come there's certain people that are really good at doing it?
Yeah, we've seen that today, that there's just been several cars that are able to really do well here.
Even though we're not running plates, this is a plate track, so we just call it plate racing. But there is a gift to plate racing.
There is to these big draft tracks. Definitely a skill involved.
And we're waiting. It is that time as the iRacing.com pace car has took its place down on the apron. And we're getting ready to go back green flag racing. It is that time. And this is it. What could be the final restart of the race if we stay for a nice long green flag run. And here we are. Green flag is in the air. We're back green as Barrett Bonner is leading the pack.
He's showing to beat the last car on the lead lap?
Yeah, he's sitting in 18th position is what I'm showing, so he must be a lap down. Our lead car was Jesse Atchison. And that is your leader. He's up on the high side right now, is running in a nice little 3-pack cars, getting pushed by the 83 of David Brown and Kyler Wynn. Those cars, remember, they shot out of the cannon last time, and they do it again, Kane. These cars are so fast on the restart. Look at this. Here comes, even though they're not on the lead lap, these Ryko cars could cause some change in the plans for some of these cars because they are right there on the bumper. What they're trying to do, I guess, is get in front of the leaders. If a caution comes out, they'd come to the rear of the field, maybe get that lap back.
Most important for the number 4 machine is he is actually just 1 lap down. Actually, all of those guys, Cody also 1 lap down. If those guys can get around the leader there and a caution come out, that would definitely save their race.
Yeah, so if they could get up around here and find themselves around the leader and get that lap back, get on the end of the field, anything is possible. So right now, Jesse Atchison,
he wasn't the leader.
Jesse Atchison doing a phenomenal job of holding off this pack, and he's got David Brown, who's been a really good car to bump draft with. Look at here, we're going to get a run down on the inside. That's Kyler Wynn, and Kyler Wynn was getting pushed by the 6.
Oh, the 4 loose
car.
Again.
I think he saved it that time, but that could have been really bad as the 4 car got loose again, and that is a tough save there for Barrett Bonner. And look at this, Justin Rowden, welcome back to the race, buddy. He is back up in the picture. The 21 car, we saw him get spun around like a tornado earlier. He got caught up in a wreck. He's back up here, Kane.
Yeah.
And at the right time as well. This is what you want to do at Talladega, kind of be out of the picture, but when it counts, make your way towards the front and make things happen. Got the Buick on the livery. I love it. So he says, you know what? We don't have a Buick in iRacing, so I'm just going to put it on the livery. Or the paint scheme, rather. Works for me.
That's a nice looking livery anyway.
It is. I love that. That gold looks really good on there. I thought it was a Miller High Life, but it's actually, I'm trying to read that, and of course it's hard when these cars are traveling over 209 miles per hour. But Nexus Esports says, thank you to Jay Kennedy for letting me know. He's always keeping me up to date and helping me out because I could not read that. So thank you for doing that, and a job well done tonight, as always. Look at this, guys. Big time race up here at the front. These guys know this race is starting to head down towards that final countdown, and it is where you want to be, in the front. That is the least likely place to get caught up in a late race incident, is in the lead. And right now, that coveted spot belongs to the number 28 car of Jesse Atchison, who's remained in this lead since we went back green just a moment ago. And he's going to have some competition down on the inside, because here comes Octavio Rondaletto down there in the number 9. He's pushing Logan Helton in the 63 car. And Logan got down there on that double yellow line, or the yellow line there for a minute. And that apron is different banking, of course, than the normal track. And we've seen cars get loose there in the past. They're going to make that high side.
Able to get another spot there and move up into third.
Yeah, that is a great job there from Octavio. And he'll file in behind David Brown. And now we're going to see Logan Helton try this bottom line. He's got a really good run, Kane. The 63 car looking really good right now. And Kyler Wynn going to tuck him behind him in the factory setups Monte Carlo. He'll push the 63, and that is bad news for Octavio. He's going to continue to fall back. The 9 car kind of got hung out to dry up there. And that's, he'll see if he can get another run here in just a second. But Octavio Rondoletto was looking so good there for a moment, got out of the draft, and now he's falling back up there. In fact, here comes the 21 car. He'll make his way around him. That's Justin Rowden as he gets a run. So we'll see if Octavio can refine the draft and make his way back up.
Those 3 lap down cars have rejoined each other. It's still working to try to get their lap back and making some progress.
18 laps to go in this one. No problem up there at the front right now. This is a great job of keeping your car in fresh air from Jesse Atchison, and he's got to love David Brown. David Brown has been the perfect car to if you got to have somebody behind you doing the pushing, I would want David Brown. He has just done it perfect for Jesse. He has pushed him gently down the back stretch and even through the tri-oval. But once they're in the turns, he's staying right back where he needs to. And this is 2 Fords working together beautifully. And right now it's benefiting both of them. And we'll see how long they can keep that going. They do have to keep it going for quite a while to stay here to the end. But with 16 to go, it can be done.
Yeah, I think that it's pretty much right on the nose. If you looking at all these different cars, David Brown looks like he's one of the better pushers out on the track, and he is just being a very patient pusher, and that's working out great for both of those guys.
Yeah, because in all honesty, I think as fast as David Brown's car has been today, I think he'll be okay staying there in that second position. Now, right now, Kyler Wynn going to go down to the inside, but he'll get blocked there by the 63 of Helton. And, you know, right now, 2 of the biggest pushers I've seen today is the 63 of Logan Helton and, of course, David Brown in the 83. So right now, both of those cars are behind our leader, Jesse Atchison. And if I am David Brown right now, I'm loving the way this race is looking for me, because right now, I'm in second. I'm doing a great job of pushing the leader, but I've got Logan Helton behind me. And if he decides to duck down on the final lap with me and go to push, that is exactly what David Brown would want. He's got the speed, but if he could get him in the 63 to drop down there and go for the win, that would be an amazing finish with these guys.
David Brown also with the win under his belt last week. A second place would do pretty darn good for the points.
Yeah, second place would be good for points, but everybody knows the win's what he wants.
Yeah.
And he's in a great spot to do so. I really do. I think this is by design, Kane. I think he wants to be in second right now. He's made no type of move that states he wants to advance to the lead. He stayed right there behind the 28. The car's obviously not overheating or doing anything like that from staying in the draft too long. It's looking good. He's staying right where he wants to. Him and the 28 have a great thing going right now. Even as fast as Logan Helton has been, he's not been able to pass him. So I think this is by design. Look, he's going to bump draft him down.
Pretty organized run coming up under him, though.
That's for unlapped, or that's from lap traffic, though.
Well, he's going to lose it. That's Justin Levine. Wow.
What a save. Wow. What a save. But the caution does come. The caution comes. That's Octavio Rondoletto in the number 9 machine. That is so unfortunate. He had a really good race going, still does. But unfortunately, that car gets loose. And let's see, contact was just made with the wall. I thought he got loose, but no, just contact made with the wall sends the 9 car around. The good news for him, the car doesn't seem to have too much damage to it. He's probably going to need some new tires because he just did a lot of sliding on those tires. But his race is not over. He can still hang in here and turn this into a good race. Let's see if we can... I was trying to hear our race director, but I was having some issues hearing him, so we'll see if I can... So I think what I'm hearing is Octavio Rondoletto has the best tires out of the field.
He has a set left for pit stops.
Oh, he's still okay. So I'm hearing, guys, that he has another set left, which is huge. So he is one of the only drivers left, if not the only driver, that still has a set of tires that he can still go and get. That is huge right now. So I imagine we'll see that number 9 car head down pit road to get that final set. And like I said, if you're the lead car, I mean, not the lead car, if you're on the lead lap, Kane, anything is possible. And if you have the freshest rubber out on the track, even at Talladega, I'll take it. All right, guys, so pit stops underway for some of these guys. It's still Jesse Atchison up there in the lead, following the iRacing.com pace car with 11 laps showing to go as we are under caution, and it's going to be a sprint to the finish. It's been a good race so far, Kane. This has been really fun. We've had a lot of back and forth action up at the front. If you guys are just joining us, welcome. As we get ready for round 2 of the Winter NASCAR iRacing Series. You're getting ready to bring this thing to a close here at Talladega. And we've had a fun race over 223 miles per hour at one point. We've seen some of these cars at those speeds as these guys are racing their tails off tonight. And everybody wanting that win. And we're going to find out who's going to get it here in just a few laps' time. Don't go anywhere as we get ready to go back green here in just a little bit here as we watch the guys get settled in here. And we'll see. We saw Octavio get spun around just a few moments ago, but with a fresh set of tires, we'll see. Maybe he can make a magic run here for a crazy finish.
8 cars are out of the race. From damage. We've had a pretty wreck-filled race here. Yes and no, considering these cars at Talladega and how fast they're going. I mean, it certainly could have been worse. But there are 8 cars not able to finish this race.
Okay, absolutely, yes, Kane, you got it right. It could be a lot worse. I've seen races with 43 cars in with less cars than what we've got by a long shot. So this is actually really good. We've got a nice field here. We've had tremendous racing back and forth here. Guys running in different packs, trying low lines, high lines. We've seen 2 car, 3 car, 5 car, 4 car, different pairings. It's been fun, and it's not over yet. We're going to have the finale here coming up. And as soon as we find out, let's see if we're about to be 1 to go as the pace car crosses the start-finish line. Yes, we are 1 to go. So we will be starting this time by. When we start, there will be 9 laps to go in this one. Once again, I do want to thank everybody for joining us here on SimSpeed. JD Smith, Kane Craft with me, and I also want to thank Jay Kennedy for a job well done on the camera works. He's done a great job keeping us up to date with the information, the overlays, and also even taking us back to 1987. That was awesome, and we're going to do this thing one more time at least as we get ready to go back green flag racing in what should maybe be, I don't want to jinx it, but what could be the final restart of the race. This is huge, Kane.
I imagine as we get a little closer to the end, the intensity is going to ramp up a little bit, and we likely could see another one. But I don't know. I would love to see this thing go to the end.
It'll be fun to see. I don't know what to expect, and one thing we haven't talked about is what happens. It could end under caution. You know, if we're running all in the 1987 rules, it could end under caution. Something we don't want to see, but it could happen, I guess. Oh, so we're hearing there are 3 green-white checkered attempts. So that is one 87 rule that we do not have, and I am glad. That is one of the best things in motorsports that has ever changed. And here we go. Let's watch the iRacing pace car. He'll duck down, and we'll watch Jesse Atchison in the number 28 Thundercats Thunderbird get ready to take us back green flag racing here at Talladega. Kane, it's going to be a great finish, buddy. Let's buckle in for the ride. This is going to be good. And there you see it. The flag's in the air, and let's get back racing.
Another great launch for those front 3 cars.
I love this pairing right here. You're on board right now with 2 cars that have been excellent today. Brinson and McCandless. McCandless doing the pushing in this pairing. I really like that pairing, even though they're off pace with the front 4 there. Watch them. They're doing, look at this run down the backstretch, Kane. This has been 2 fast cars that have kind of been hanging back lately, but they have tremendous pace. Keep your eye on those 2.
Yeah, good call on that one. I think you're right. Those are a pair of cars that you'll want to keep an eye on because they have been fast all day long.
They are, and they're running down this front pack. They're right there at them, so we'll see if they can catch them here momentarily. And while they're watching them on the right side of your screen, on the left is your leader, Jesse Atchison. He is up there leading the way, being pushed there by the 83 car and the 63 of Logan Helton. In the 83, that's David Brown. We have not seen him try to go for this lead. He has stayed right there content behind Jesse Atchison. Let's see if he decides, or when and if he does decide to try to take the lead. You got to imagine it'll be coming up in a few laps' time. How late is too late to try that move?
Well, I think turn 4, the last lap, probably might be a little too late. I don't know. It's probably going to be close to when you'll see a lot of people making that move.
If we were in the Gen 6 car, I would say you could wait that late. But in this car, I'm not sure. We'll see. It's like I said, it's interesting that we're in this 87 car because it changes everything.
Yeah, it does. It's just by not having that restrictor plate gives these guys a few more options. And the way these cars handle and draft and everything is so much different that it changes everything.
Logan Helton has been very fast all race long. He's right here in 3rd place right now, but he's getting a push right now from that 21 Nexus eSports machine of Justin Rowden. And Rowden has been kind of a car that was back there in the pack for a good part of the race. He's come up here at the right time, Kane. Don't sleep on that 21 car. He's where he needs to be. And sorry, I got a little nervous there because the 63 car, here comes that move for the lead. The 83 goes to go down to the bottom line for the lead. And it is exactly as we saw. Here's the 63 of Logan Helton with the pushing as the caution waves. And that is crazy, as now that caution comes out just as David Brown took the lead. Boy, talk about waiting to make the move. He did it right as that flag came out. What caused that green flag or the yellow flag, Kane? Did you see?
Well, we're looking right now. Looks like the number 9, more bad luck from Rondeletto as he gets into.
Oh,
to the other 09.
Nasty wreck.
Yeah.
That was nasty wreck. One of the Ryco Motorsports cars. That was the 09 car. And that is a very tough break there for Octavio Rondoletto. He's had a great race, just not much luck here as of late. And that is going to make things even tougher for him. And you hate to see that. The 09 Ryco Motorsports car that was involved in that wreck, I believe that was, let's see, Cody, and I'm trying to make Cody Turland, our pole sitter from tonight. That is who that was, who was extremely fast early in this race. Unfortunately, got slapped with the penalty for the restart. And then, later with the coming on the pit road, a little too steep and caused trouble. So unfortunate there for the 09 car, who really had a car that I'm sure he thought could have won this race. Showed tremendous pace, obviously, by setting tonight's pole time. And it's very unfortunate just the way things have piled up for him. But as always, it is Talladega, and things can happen at the craziest times. And we'll see as we get ready to go back green flag racing here shortly. We'll see who's able to get that checkered flag. And it'll be definitely earned, as these guys are fighting for everything here tonight. Back and forth. David Brown took that pass right before the caution waved. And I was waiting, Kane, on when he would try to take that, make that move. And it was just as I thought. As soon as he ducked down, I mean, it was like they were linked up. As soon as David Brown ducked down, Logan Helton was right there for the push. It was beautiful. And one thing I also want you to keep in mind, I talked about it a minute ago with Matthew Brinson and Blake McCandless. They are currently sitting 5th and 6th. And with this restart, that's going to put them with this pack, unless those front three were to shoot out again like we've seen in the past. But if they can stay all together, watch the 5 and the 66.
Earlier you mentioned that there is a certain skill involved with this high draft racing.
Super speedway racing.
Super speedway racing. And there is, but there is also a lot of luck involved as well.
Oh, yeah.
And some of these guys have just not had any today.
Absolutely, Kane. Some guys have been caught up on the wrong end of luck, and that is unfortunate. I hate to see that, especially when somebody has a fast car and they're doing great, and it's just at the wrong place at the wrong time and get caught up in an incident. That is what is hard to watch, and it stinks to see it, but it is part of racing. And we've seen some of our favorites in real-world racing and on the sim get caught up in incidents that they had nothing to do with. So it's just never fun to see a good a fast car get caught up in an incident and ruin the day. But it's part of what makes Talladega so fun and so crazy. Let's see if those lights go off on the iRacing.com pace car, and it should. And let's see. No, yes, go off. There they are, 1 to go. So we're getting ready to go back racing from Talladega. It looks like there will be 2 to go, so this should be a regular finish, I believe. I don't think this will be considered an overtime finish yet, as we should be with 2 to go. We will get a normal finish here, possibly. Let's take a look real quick as we are getting ready for that restart. Let's look at how we'll be restarting. We got David Brown there in the 83 Nexus Thunderbird, leading the way with Jesse Atchison in the number 28 Thundercats Thunderbird. And we moved back to third. It is that 63 car of Logan Helton. 4th is Justin Rowden in the 21 Nexus Esports Thunderbird. Matthew Brinson in the number 5 Thunderbird. And we move back to 6th place. It's Blake McCandless, followed by Jay Jensen. And we move back. It is Barrett Bonner there, followed by Tom Abramitis and Barrett Paulimus. So then our 10th car there, as we look back, we got Nathaniel Reinke, followed by Noah Bitts, Alex Murray, Jonathan Oshalem, and Joshua Guthright, just to name a few, as we get ready to go back green flag racing on what we assume will be our final run of the night for our win. So who will it be? Is it going to be Jesse Atchison coming from second place to win it, or will we see David Brown be able to hold it down all the way to the end, or will it be Logan Helton or Justin Rowden coming in there? Only time will tell, as it's now time for the iRacing pace car to head down on that apron. Let's get ready, guys. The final time tonight. This is what it's all about. Let's see what happens. Green flag getting ready to wave. A huge restart. This is what you want. Big push there from the 28 of Jesse Atchison as green flag waves. This is it. The final 2 laps of the race. Beautiful start there from David Brown. Can David Brown and Jesse Atchison run it together? Look at the run right now from the 63 of Logan Helton. A beautiful job. This is the run you want as he comes fast down the backstretch here at Talladega. He's going to go towards the high line. Let's see if David comes up to block. He will not. He will go down in front of Jesse Atchison and will go. There's nobody there to help draft the 63 of Logan Helton. He's all by himself. And now, no, we do not see. He's going to get a good run all by himself. Finally, we see the 21 come up, but besides against it, we're on the final lap here at Talladega with David leading this race. Jesse Atchison, we almost come into contact. This thing's getting crazy. Here comes the number 5. He comes down into turn 1. We're going to go 3 wide up into position 3. My goodness, down the backstretch for the final time today. Here comes the 28. He's going to try to go for the win. That's Matthew Brinson coming down on the inside. We could go 3 wide for the win. Coming into turn 3, it's the 28 car, Jesse Atchison. He'll come in for the lead. It's going to go. This could end up being a 3 wide finish. Look at the run down on the inside. It is the 83. That's David Brown. We got a run on the high side. Here comes Brinson. There's contact between the 2. It's going to be a 3 wide finish to the finish. Who's going to get it photo? It's the 83. Wow, what a finish there as it's David Brown winning Talladega. My goodness, what a finish. 0.02 of a second, and I got to see that again. My goodness, what a finish, and a congratulations is in order for 2 wins in a row there for David L. Brown. What a finish for David Brown. 83 car takes it here in the Nexus Thunderbird. What a race. As we're looking at the replay on your screen right now, guys, look at this finish. David Brown had a great run. Helton on the high side. Atchison decides to go, and just an incredible finish here at Talladega. Wow. Absolutely beautifully done. A great race there. A great job there from David Brown. He did a wonderful job pushing for the longest time, and ultimately decided at the right time to come down for that pass right as the caution waved, and then got a beautiful restart there at the end and was able to hold it down. And he had to fight for it. It wasn't just given to him. He really had to earn this win, and a beautiful burnout here for him as he's well-deserved this victory celebration, Kane.
Yeah, 2 in a row. That's pretty awesome.
Even if you take last week's win away, this one in itself is just impressive when you have a race this close. And it was an exciting race at that. Just a big win here, and he's got to feel good after that. I want to feel like he planned that out, because that was just beautiful. Let's go through our final results here and look at the Ford Chevy almost down. That's beautiful. Let's look at this. So our winner tonight, David Brown there in the number 83 machine. Coming across second was Logan Helton, with Justin Rowden finishing third. Fourth place tonight was the 4-car of Barrett Bonner. Jay Jensen was the 5th finisher. In 6th tonight, it was Blake McCandless with Tom Abramitis in 7th. 8th place finish for Jesse Atchison, with Matthew Brinson finishing 9th. And rounding out our top 10, it is Jonathan Oshalom. And moving back to the 11th finisher tonight, that is James Houghton, with Joshua Gathright finishing 12th. Noah Bitts will finish 13th, with Nathaniel Reinke in 14th. Alex Murray takes 15th, while Barrett Falimas takes 16th. Riley Marabello will finish 17th, with the 18th spot going to Octavio Rondoletto. And a tough for him to finish in 18th. He had a great race tonight. Looking at 19th, it was Chad Genigsman and Cody Tareen in 20th. In 21st tonight, it is Justin Levine, with Kyler Wynn finishing 22nd. Mike Bruno 23rd, with John Olette 24th. And our final 4 was Tyler Justice, Joey Brown, Heath Snyder, and Sean Powell, followed by Jake Sylvia. That is how our 29-car field finished here at Talladega in week 2 of the winter edition of the NASCAR iRacing series from Talladega. What a finish. There's another look there of tonight's finish here at Talladega. A beautiful finish. Look at those 4 cars right there fighting for position. And let's get an opportunity now to speak with our race winner for a quick word. So let's do that now. We'll see if we can welcome David Brown in for a word. David, you there?
Yep, I'm here and doing great.
Man, I bet you have to feel tremendous after that win, man. That was intense.
Yeah. I do want to apologize to Jesse Atchison, though. Like, he was coming down a little bit. I was coming up a little bit. I was trying to get a side draft off him and get a run into the tri-oval, and we just met in the middle, and it kind of screwed his race up.
It was a tough race. I mean, you did, we even talked about it in the broadcast, how just great you did with pushing Jesse. You guys seem to have some good chemistry going on through the end of that race. You seem pretty content there with staying with him and just pushing him down the backstretch. And you guys really stayed up there, even though Logan Helton had great runs, but he just ultimately couldn't catch you guys. You stayed up there. When was your decision to try to make that pass before that final caution came out?
Jesse just got tight in turn 3, and I got a little tight, but I knew I had to take it, or I was probably going to get freight trained with him. So I knew it was the time to strike, and then the caution just happened to come out half a straightaway later.
Yeah, it was pretty bang. You made the move to make the pass and got it, and the caution quickly came out afterwards. And I said, man, he couldn't have timed that better if he wanted to. But it worked out ultimately in the end. And even though you started from P1 there on the restart, that was not an easy race to the finish there. You had quite a battle. We had a good photo of the finish there, as it was pretty bang there at the finish.
Yeah, Jesse had a little bit less spoiler than me at the end. He was a little bit tight during the run, and a little damage slowing him down. So he went down on the spoiler, and that was giving him huge straightaway speed. Yes,
yeah. You guys down the straightaway was just I mean, you guys were flying. What was it like? That's my big question tonight. What was it like driving these 87 cars here at Talladega with no restrictor plates, just running speeds of upwards of 220 times?
Well, I really got to thank Jesse for all the work he did with me on this set. We really had a really good set, and so that actually made things kind of easy. Also got to thank Kyler Wynn and Zeke Willis for drafting help, figuring out the setup. And also in the race, I got to thank Logan Helton and Justin Rowden for also showing up and running with us and being out there as extra support. Strength in numbers.
Absolutely. Well, you guys had a remarkable performance tonight. Congratulations on another win tonight, man. And we wish you guys the best of luck next week.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. That is David Brown who takes the win here at Talladega in week 2 of the winter edition of the NASCAR iRacing series. We got one more person coming in with us. We're going to get a word from Logan Hilton. Logan, do you copy us?
Yes, I do.
Welcome to the broadcast, buddy. How are you this wonderful day?
I am doing great. How are you guys doing?
Man, doing great. So, a really fast car you had tonight, man. You were right there in the thick of it all race long.
Yeah, just thanks to my teammates, David Brown, Justin Rowden, Jesse Atchison, and Kyla Wynn, who unfortunately had a internet issue through the race. But yeah, they did an awesome job on the setup. Had a ton of fun. Just the car was just so quick. Just all I had to do was just use the gas pedal and turn the wheel to the left, and it would do what I wanted it to do.
I mean, it was so impressive. We were talking at times, we noticed the two fastest cars, especially when it comes to push to bump drafting down that straightaway speed. You and David were the fastest two cars by far tonight. And we knew it was kind of going to come down to you guys at the end. And that's exactly what pretty much happened, you two and Jesse Atchison. So it was really fun to watch. What was that finish like for you?
Oh, it was just chaos. I knew coming into turn 1 after we took the white flag, I got put top of 3, and I basically I just let off the gas and tried to regroup, get to the back, and then I got put 3 wide again out of turn 2, and I kind of settled down into turn 3. I was on the bottom with no one to my outside, with what looked like 20 cars in front of me. So I just kind of stayed patient, and I held it full throttle out of turn 4, and just watched all the chaos happen in front of me. We were 4 wide, banging off of each other and everything, and just found a hole and was able to bring it home second. Looked like it was going to be a win there for a second, but I got a little loose. But yeah, glad David won it, and Rowden finished 3rd.
Yeah, it was a beautiful finish. I think when you go back and watch it, I think you'll be excited to see how that one finished. Even though you didn't get the win, you still had a phenomenal race, and that was entertaining to say the least. I got one more question for you. What is your thoughts on this car versus the standard Gen 6 car at Talladega? What was the difference tonight?
Well, this car to me is ever since yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I can't remember, but ever since whenever the update came out, this car has been the closest to the Mercedes F1 car in terms of fun. Gen 6, it's fun sometimes. It's just, especially at short tracks, but at plate tracks right now, it needs a little bit of fixing up. But I see a lot of potential in the Gen 6 at Talladega and Daytona if we can get that one update that'll bring it more to life.
I heard that. No, that's beautiful. Well, I tell you what, after watching this race tonight, I agree with you. These cars did wonders here tonight, and it was a blast watching you guys. Thanks for coming in and having a word with us, buddy.
Well, thank you guys very much for putting on the broadcast.
Absolutely. Thanks again. That is great to hear from Logan, and wishing him the best of luck as we continue the Winter NASCAR iRacing series. And a job well done. Once again, thanks, Logan Hilton. And next week, guys, we'll be ready for some more Winter NASCAR iRacing series action as we leave Talladega, Alabama, and get ready to head to one of my favorite places. Guys, we're going to North Wilkesboro next week. So we leave the 2.66 mile humongous track to go down to North Wilkesboro for some short track racing. Don't miss it. It's going to be in the same time next week. Going to be Wednesday night. That's 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central. And it'll be right here on SimSpeed Network. We look forward to it. Kane, thank you so much, buddy. And Jay Kennedy with me as well. So once again, I'm JD Smith, Kane Craft with us. We'll see you guys next week from North Wilkesboro. Y'all have a great night.
This is fantastic. This is
GT racing right now.
He's got traction. He's got rid of the outside of both of them. Maloney.
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up to
Oh my God. Big crash. Oh my goodness. Half the field's going to get involved.
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's massive. This is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh my God.
God, what?